We're planning for the tour that I'm doing in July. It's a 10-city tour.
Oh, wow.
So that was we've been meeting a couple of times this week for that. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
excited. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. How's everyone else doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. You're down south this morning?
Yes. Yes. I'm back here celebrating my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yes. So we're doing that
When is her birthday? Today?
today.
Oh, okay.
Birthday.
Mine's next Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, back down here. So I'm back on the throne,
Oh, okay.
back in the big seat down
That
here.
means you're behaving royally, right?
Man, as you say,
That's good.
I'm giving myself grace.
Mm.
Oh, you can't keep him full of grace. Pull up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm doing the best I can. So yeah, so it's good.
Oh,
It's good.
good, good.
It is good. Yes, it is good. Hmm. It's good to see everyone as always.
Good. Now, how's the fires out there? Because I know your mom is in Los Angeles, so they got a little of the smoke.
Yeah, yeah, we're about 5 minutes from the Palisades. So,
Wow.
well, 10 maybe.
Yeah, okay.
It's a lot going on down here.
Hmm.
Tell it to you that way. It's a lot going on down here.
Wow. Wow.
So, um, but she's doing well. Everything is good. They almost had to evacuate, but
Okay.
it's a lot going on over here. There's a
Yeah.
whole lot of sirens going on,
Okay.
to and fro, but uh, but everything is good. Everything is
Good, good.
everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Veronica, I'll let you handle that on the waiting room thing. So you can decide what you want to do with that, um, and all the other stuff. So, well,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Well, it's 7. Should we get started like we always do, right?
Yes.
Right about here in this time. That's right. All right. Victory only.
Victory
Victory
always.
Victory
always.
always.
That's right. Lest we forget. Victory only.
Victory
Victory
always.
always.
That's right. Victory only.
Victory
Victory
always.
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 That's right. Health only.
Health always.
Always.
That's
Always.
right. Health only.
Health
Health always.
Always.
That's right. Health only.
health
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 always.
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 That's right. Prosperity only.
Prosperity
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 always.
always.
That's
always.
right. Prosperity only.
Prosperity
Prosperity
always.
Always.
That's
always.
right. Prosperity only.
Prosperity
Prosperity
always.
Always.
That's right. Good success only.
Good
good
success
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 always.
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 That's right. Good success only.
Good
Good
success
success
always.
Always.
That's
always.
right. Good success only.
Good
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 success
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 always.
always.
That's right. So, right, you can make it any way you want it, right? What
Right.
expectations are we having? What expectations are we setting? Right? Choose your mind.
Choose
Choose
your
your
life.
life.
That's right. Choose your mind.
Choose
Choose
your
your life.
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 That's right. Choose your mind.
Choose
Choose
your
your
life.
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 That's right. Change your mind.
Change your
Change your
Change
life.
life.
your life.
That's right. Change your mind.
Change your
Change
Change
your
your
life.
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 That's right. Change your mind.
Change
Change
Change your
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 life
life.
That's right. Be you transformed.
By the
by the renewing
renewing
of
of
your
your
mind.
mind.
That's right. Be you transformed.
By
by
the
By
the
the
renewing of your
renewing
renewing
of
of
mind.
your
That's
mind.
right. Be you transformed.
By the
by the
renewing of
By
your
renewing
the
of
renewing
mind.
your
of
mind.
your mind.
Right? This is like starting up the car.
Yeah.
You're outside and the car's cold,
It
right?
hits you.
You're right. This is like when you wake up and you're cold in
Uh-huh.
the sense of you're coming out of one environment into another, right? And
Hmm.
this is how you start the car up. This is how you warm the car up, especially if you're any type of cold environments, right? And your car is parked outside. Boy, that remote start is a lovely thing. Or when you got to sprint outside, start the car and let it start running for a couple minutes while you're doing a couple other things so that you can get into a warm car, right? You want to start your day and warm your mind up, warm your heart up, warm your spirit up, warm your soul up, warm yourself up, right? Get yourself ready for your day, right? Empower yourself, remind yourself, right? Pump yourself up, encourage yourself, inspire yourself. Just little things like this. Look how we started and look how it started. We started warming up. Could you feel it? Right? We started,
Yeah.
you start warming up. You're like, oh, all right, right? Shaking off the cobwebs, right? Then the noise when you first start the car, and it's like, yeah, right, because it's cold, and then it's, right, and then after about 10 minutes, it's just purring, it's just humming, sitting right there, right? So it just needs a little time, needs a little kick, right? So just little things like this for ourselves. So always, lest we forget, right, to make sure we remember all the things that we can say to ourselves in the morning, right? Health only, health always. Good success only, good success always. Prosperity only, prosperity always, right? Favor only, favor always, right? I'm divinely guided, divinely prosper, divinely protected. I'm divinely wise, right? I'm illumined, I'm enlightened, I'm inspired. I always know everything I need to know and what to do about it. You start talking to yourself. Start warming your mind up, warming your heart up, warming your soul and your spirit up, right? Remember, remind. People need to be reminded more often than they need to be taught, right? So we get ourselves going, right? This is how you start talking to your day. You wake up and start saying instead of waking up and seeing, right? Instead of waking up and see what's waiting on you, right? Somebody else's attitude or a bill or my back or whatever else or the weather or it's Tuesday or oh God, right? You can start telling yourself these things when you first get up and warm yourself up. And by the time those feet hit that floor, boy, shoot, you're feeling better. You're feeling warmer. By the time you get to your car, all the noises and the screeching and everything else, right, is gone. Now the heater's on in the car is just purring and idling normally. And now you get in your car and you're ready to take off, right? Now you've gotten your day and you're ready to take off. So really, really good, really important that you're talking to yourselves properly, remembering, reminding, all those different things. Really good. All right. Well, today I always like to make sure anybody doesn't have anything they'd like to discuss or anything before I get off to firing.
Well, I just like to share something. I don't,
Sure.
if it
Sure.
ensues in a discussion, okay, but knowing you, it'll go there. Um, so I think I shared with you all a while back, some months, that I have this new corporate client. And so what, it's been since September. So what I did was I just sent an email with a form for an evaluation for some feedback. I outlined the areas, to get some feedback. And so I didn't hear anything for about a week and a half. So I resent it this week. And she called me and she said, Karen, you are the only one who sent me an evaluation or requested an evaluation. And, I haven't been out the working world that long and I always had my own mind, but I didn't know that was a thing and folks stopped doing it. But nonetheless, she said, I tell you what I'd like to do. She says, you do the evaluation. And I understand that. It's a two-way street. And if we're both doing it, uh, in my view, candidly, we should be pretty close in our evaluations, her of me and me of me. So she says, I'll tell you what I'd like to do. And basically what she'd like to do is let's go to dinner and, we'll have this evaluation. So, me being all literal and a pain in the what, I say, let me just understand. You don't want to document your evaluation, your feedback. And she said, no. I said, you know, why not? I say, this is a part of my emotional intelligence training. Seek feedback. Plus, I need to put her good feedback out there to let folks know I have a corporate client who is extremely pleased with me. At least that's my thought. So we're going to have dinner and I'm going to do my evaluation and I guess she's going to talk to me. But how do you give an unpleasant, bad, negative evaluation over dinner? If in fact there is one. So
So
that
yeah,
was my week, and I share it with my family on Saturday.
well, okay. I'll let anybody else answer before I answer. What does anybody else think? Because I always got all the right answers. I'm trying to give you suckers a chance.
I
You see?
know. Come on, suckers.
So when giving feedback, um, always start with the good stuff. Always start with the praise. Anything that you want to first acknowledge, like, okay, this has been good, da 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 da. Now here are some things that we can work on, or framing is everything. So it's yeah, that's probably as far as I go. Because the feedback that I'm used to giving is probably more in a workplace, not in my own business. But it's always helped to do the start with the good stuff, and then, here's some feedback, um, some things that I think we can work on, or just maybe even ask ChatGPT. That's probably what I would do. How can I say this? And say it however you would. This beep, 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 can't beep, beep. And then how do I say this professionally in a friendly tone? And it'll change it all up.
Okay, so just to be clear, I am seeking the evaluation of me. I'm with everything you said. I am employed basically or contracted with this person, and I want to know how they receive my value in the 5, 6 months I've been with them. So I'm all, with how you just presented things, but I'm seeking their input.
Okay. But why is it negative already?
That's what I was going to ask.
It's
What
not
makes it
negative
negative?
at all. It is not. Okay, so
I maybe misunderstood.
I'm back in my happy place, and I shouldn't have used that word. It is all good. My point is method. My point is method of how she chooses to deliver the evaluation. That's all. It's just method.
Okay. In that case, I would just ask, like, I'd love to hear some feedback on how you've been, your experience with working with me or something like that.
I would think about it as a reverse SWOT analysis.
Mm.
So ask her, what are the strengths of the relationship? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? What are the threats?
And that is exactly what is in the form I sent her. And I only isolated by certain things, communication, marketing. I categorized it, I should say. But that's exactly what I did. But I didn't use SWAT. I didn't articulate the word, but I delivered that action.
And you're just giving her the opportunity to feed that back to you in whatever way she deems necessary from her standpoint. So it's not negative.
Oh, no, no,
Okay.
no. I don't mean to imply that it's negative. Go ahead. I'm going to listen to everybody's feedback because it's all good.
Okay. Because it's relationship building. This is how she needs to deliver information to you to build the relationship she wants to have with you. Because I think that relationship for her may be more personal than it is business, even though it's a business relationship. She wants to have a personal relationship with you, and that's how she's choosing to deliver it.
Mm. I appreciate that. I
Anybody
really
else?
appreciate that.
I'm coming
Huh?
I'm coming in at the ninth hour. I'm just hearing like the tail end, so I apologize. But I all of what both Leslie and Veryl said, but then also, just making sure that you come in so sometimes we know like what our strengths, what our weaknesses, what all those things are. So starting with where you are and just saying, hey, like Vero says, starting with the beginning, like you would do if it was somebody else, and allowing them to speak and being attentive and taking notes and really honing in, but already knowing for yourself where you stand sometimes is like, just in the back of your mind, not saying, oh, this is what I do wrong, this is what I do right, not writing it down, but having an idea for yourself, because most times we know the areas that we need to work on. And if and when, the time presents itself, just let her say, like, let her have her moment and say what she wants to say and say, well, this is what I want to do. And this is where I'm moving towards to make things better for our business relationship. And then at least you're leaving it, because some people will say, oh, everything's good, everything's fine, all things are well. But if you know that there's some areas of improvement that you can improve upon, do it and say it, and leave no room for that to be picked apart at a later time. So make those improvements if you can. Sorry, came in late.
That's perfect. That was good. That was good too. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so here's what I would say. First of all, anytime if I were in this situation and I try to take the same approach, it may feel a little different, it may look a little different, but I always start with the same first question in one way or another, or I try to get back to this question in one way or another. First thing is, what do I want? What do I want? Right? From my participation, engagement, involvement, what do I want? What is it I'm seeking here? Right? That is first. What do I want? Have you guys ever done something for somebody, and have you ever done something for somebody and not got back what you wanted? Right? So even though you may do something, in this case, Karen, but I'm just using this as an example, even though you may do something, you may not get back what you wanted from it. So you gave somebody a ride to work because their car broke down, and they got out and said, okay, see you later, bye. Did you get what you wanted? Meaning, did they even say thank you? Sometimes they just may have been in a hurry. Sometimes they just may be rude or not appreciative or not aware. But you did something. So even though you do something, it doesn't mean that just because you did something, you're going to get back what you want from it. It doesn't automatically mean that. So if you don't first identify what you want, you can't put your mind on getting it, because you haven't said I want something, or this is what I want, or kind of what I want. You're just assuming that because you do, you're going to get back. And that's not a correct assumption if that's not a conscious one you're making. Right? What do I want? Why am I doing this? What is my desired return? Is it just joy? Is it just the happiness of doing it? So that if they don't say anything, it's okay. I enjoy doing this. This is what I wanted to do. So just me doing it is what I want. Right? But if what you want is to do a good deed what you're doing is a good deed for someone, but what you want is thank you or gratitude or gas money, what if you do it and you don't get it back? So just my point is, number one, is just because you're doing something doesn't mean you're going to get that back. It's not automatic. Doesn't just because you work hard doesn't mean you're going to get a raise. Just because you're the hardest worker doesn't mean you make the most money. Just because you're doing something doesn't mean you're automatically going to get back. So the first question I ask myself when I'm doing something is, especially if I'm conscious, if like it's a big deal, if it's something like this where I feel like I'm doing something different than I would, or out of my routine, or something is big or important, I identify what is it I want. That's number one. Now, why is that important? Because that is a separate question from how do I get it? So you're asking the lady, kind of like what Leslie was said to you, was you asked her for something, but how she responded does not, you made it sound like the way she was going to give you what you asked for was bad or was a problem. The way you made it sound, that's why everybody responded to you the way they did. That may be not what you meant, and it may not be what you mean, but sometimes we think that we know what we want, but we also assume how we're going to get it. And those are not the same things. So why I say I start with what do I want? Because once I put my focus on what I want, I tell myself I have that thing. Then I leave it up to my higher mind, which people call I am, or people call God, whatever you want to call it. I leave it up to my higher mind to deliver it to me in the best way possible. Because to Leslie's point again, when you're at dinner, you may get more out of her in a 2-hour dinner than a 5-minute form. She may give you more. It may be more comfortable for her to give something back to you. But if you don't identify what you want, the reason it can become a problem or feel like one, or you can make it sound like it is because you're feeling like you gave away your means of return. You feel like now she's in control of how this is happening. She's going to tell you what she wants, and you may not know if you're going to get what you asked for, right? But you didn't get what you asked for because you didn't really ask yourself for anything. You really asked her for something. And when she gave you back what you asked her for, you realized already, this is not actually what I want, even though that's what you asked for. So that's why I say from the beginning, always start with you. What do you want? What am I creating this survey for? What do I want? I may be giving it to someone else. But remember, like we talked last week, right? The buyer and the seller are
Me.
meaning one, right? So if you don't identify within yourself first what you're doing this for, how can she give it back to you? She's just you in another form, right? So that's why you said what you said, and that's why everybody caught what you said. That may not have been what you meant consciously, but some of it is, right, out of the issues of the issues of the heart, right? The mouth speaks. Right. So sometimes, right, we didn't say what we meant, but we actually say what's kind of in there, right, to a certain degree. And
Yeah.
then when she responded to you, it probably felt like it got away from you. Like, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I want. Wait a minute. So now she's got you going out to dinner, right? She's got your occupied Friday night occupied, right? And so now that feels scary, but it's scary because you didn't get what you thought you wanted or what you thought you asked for, but you never really asked yourself what you wanted. Really, you never came to terms with what your desired end was. And so now you're assuming that the way she's going about it is not going to reach it, but it can't reach it because you didn't say it. You don't have it settled within yourself on what it is. This is what I'm doing, but what do I want from this thing? Both of those are you. That's the two of you that shall agree in anything, and whatever you agree upon shall be done. Whatever two of you shall agree on earth is touching, it shall be done. Of my Father in heaven, of your I am within you. That's what's going to make it happen. So your awareness of being, once you say, I know what I want, and now I'm sending this thing out, what do I want? I want some feedback that I can put on my website. Yeah, I also want to grow the relationship and business, but I want some good feedback I can put on my relationship. So then you're going on my website. So then you say to yourself, okay, so I'm going to, once I say that, you send the form out. Or once you say that, you may just pick up the phone 5 minutes later and call her and talk about something else. And then she may say, hey, Karen, I just want to give you some feedback on something. I was going to put it in an email and I still am. And the conversation may happen 10 minutes later. Your awareness of being knows how to make everything happen, but you have to give it the task. You have to figure out and decide what it is you want going out and coming back. Once those two things are in agreement within you, then you will see it. Your higher mind knows the best way to get that back to you because it knows exactly what you mean. The lady doesn't, but the lady then may not be the right person. I'm kind of blowing it out in a big picture so that you understand, right, how to get things for yourself. And what you essentially kind of did was you had a baby and you took it out in the hallway and started letting her name it. So you think you're doing a good thing by getting feedback, but that's why it went a little wonky. It went a little off because you gave away what you really wanted. You never really identified what you wanted. And she took it somewhere else. And you're like, oh God, right? And stuff like that. That's kind of how it happened, why it happened. So it's a good thing to always remember. First, what do you want? Once you decide what you want, you tell yourself that's what it is. And you send the form after that, or it may change your mind on how you do it. But your higher mind now has been given the task. The depth of your being has been given the task to how to get you back what you want. What? I want something good I can put on my website so that other people can see it. That's really what you wanted. Do you care how you get it? It may not have been a form. It may have just been an email. Karen, you know what? I just wanted to tell you a couple of things of how proud I am. And you know what? You have my permission to send this out. You may not even have to ask. right? Your higher mind knows the best way, because what does it say? My yoke is easy and my burden is light. It knows how to do all these things. It will do it for you, but you have to give it the task, right? So we have to be, Veronica was talking to me this weekend, and I'll let her explain it. Veronica, when you were talking about the help that you hired and how you kind of learned some things about yourself and about how you wanted to do things. Do you remember how you were saying,
No.
oh, I said this, but I didn't. Oh, I thought I didn't give them this task, or I thought they're going to do it
Oh,
like this,
well,
or
I learned that the like how I have so much in my head is not the same as how I'm putting out the instructions for them to do things. And like, for example, I've been working with my clients for years. So even them saying like just Bubba, I know what they mean. But my team doesn't understand what they mean. So I try to like translate or like elaborate. Um, but I've realized, for example, like I gave a task out and I'm thinking in my head, they're like maybe even at my level of knowledge of how to do certain things. And at least it's given me an opportunity to gauge their knowledge, but I realized I had to be really thorough with instructions and step by steps. Is that what you meant, Lucky?
yes, just think about, Karen, you've been in, and right in EA, and think about how important your boss's clarity to you was when you were assigned something. What do you want? When do you want it? How do you want it? What do you like? He told you all of those things. Then he hired someone who he thought could make his vision come to life. Right? He gave you the parameters. It's your job to make it come to life. Well, it is Karen's job to give your awareness of being the parameters and let your awareness of being come to life. You don't want to be micromanaged by your boss. What do you want? What do you want? Okay, it's due Tuesday. It's due Friday. It's for 500 people. Okay, we need to eat. We need to have a place to stay. So they give you the general vision, but now they have hired someone. They feel like I can give you this and give you enough that's reasonable, but now I'm going to trust you to do it. If I'm sitting over here calling you, Karen, is it done? Karen, is it done? Karen, is it done? Karen, oh this, Karen, oh that. You're like, okay, wait a minute, bro, I got it. Just now, unless you're changing something, I got it, right? Your awareness of being is your executive assistant. Its job is to carry out all the tasks you give it. Any task. I'm broke, I'm sick, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm black, I'm white. Your awareness of being is like your executive assistant. It has the power to make all your dreams come true. But all of your dreams can also be nightmares. It just depends on which orders you're giving. Right? So what you want to do is be as clear as possible. How they go about making your dream a reality is on them. Your boss gave it to you and said, hey, this is what I want, Karen. This is how I want the weekend to go or this conference to be. This is what I want, Karen. And then you say, okay, you ask any questions. And then you say, okay, I got it. Done. When is it due by? What time? How many people? You ask any questions that you feel are going to make this whole thing complete. His vision, her vision, and your understanding. Right? You put those two together and you have the outcome. So it's now, and what we're talking about now, it is Karen's job to tell her awareness of being what it is she wants to experience physically. This is what I want. And it is then you give that task to your awareness of being, your higher mind, and in your case, she will carry it out. Your awareness of being, inner Karen, will carry it out. She knows what you mean. She knows what you're saying. She knows what you're thinking and feeling. You don't have to be perfect with it. She's not human. She understands everything that's going on in there, but you have to give her the task. And when you give your task away to someone else, well, that's not that. That's not the same. That's how I got away from you, right? That's why all of us and heard what you said, even though that's not what you meant. It was a problem because it's like a horse, like a rider, and you're supposed to be on top and you're on the back getting drugged because it got away from you, right? But that's how it got away. That's why it got away. So your job, you've been an executive assistant, and I'm sure a darn good one. So you should understand the importance of direction and of clarity, not perfection, not perfection. direction, and clarity. What do you want as clearly as you can convey it. Then when your boss did that to you, there was no problem. You could get it done. They left that in your hands to make their dream come true. You tell your awareness of being with clarity, as clear as you can be, not perfect. It's not going to say, well, you didn't tell me there's going to be 501 people. You're not going to be a plate short, right? It's with you. Remember that song, Every Little Step I Take, you will be there. Every little step I make will be together. That's you and I am. That's you and your awareness of being. Every little step I take, it's there. Every little step you take, you are together. You and your awareness of being are together. So it's not going to leave you a plate short. It's not going to leave you a bouquet of flowers on a table short, right? So be as clear as Karen can be with herself. Put the direction you want Karen to go with herself. And your EA, your I am, will bring that dream to life. Does that make sense?
Or I am.
Yes.
This was a masterclass.
Yes. Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
For Karen, consciously, and Karen's awareness, this was a masterclass, because I realized that I was speaking, or, I communicated what I did to you all this morning strictly from, as we used to call it before we got educated, the surface.
Mm-hmm.
The surface. I didn't ask myself, what is it I really want? Mm-hmm. And we are building a beautiful relationship. And part of Karen's psyche is to have some order and organization in really a somewhat chaotic new business. Mm-hmm. And so I may come across a little rigid and, sounding like I want everything black and white, but I'm trying to influence a shift. Mm-hmm. And in doing that, I completely lost I am. Mm-hmm. I completely lost what it is I want. And you know what else I realized while you were talking? She said, Karen, no one else asked me this. She says, sitting down talking to you will show me how to do it with others. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was a gift I didn't know I was giving. Mm-hmm. So this was simply exquisite. Mm-hmm. I am grateful.
That's it. And thanks to you all, because we all put it together, right? We all learned, we all grew, we all gave our experiences, and we all put it together, right? And so this is a great thing. It's a masterclass, right, for all of us to apply this in every area of our life. What do you want? What do you want? And not to make the mistake of letting it get away from you by giving it to others, by letting other people name your experiences, by letting other people name your outcomes, your opportunities, your end results, your end game. What do you want? You're doing this for a reason. What is that reason? What do you want to get out of your participation? Right? Everything in life is an investment, or it should be. It's an investment because you want a return on your participation. That return could be just a thank you. That return could be whatever. It could be a salary. It could be a hug. It could be a card, but you want a return on your investment. You want something for your participation. And that doesn't mean you have to tell someone else what you want. You tell yourself what you want, right? I'm loved, I'm respected, I'm appreciated. My business is always going well. Everyone is always telling me how grateful they are to me and grateful for me. Man, only the best comes to me, for me, and from me. You always start talking to yourself, and that is really what you're pushing on to other people, right? When you are secure, insecurity doesn't come from you to other people. It doesn't come off on other people. You don't have it to give. It's not there. Everything is starting within ourselves. A lot of times we think it's other people, but it's really within ourselves. Other people are just reflecting back that's what we're giving out. And a lot of times we're just not aware of what we're giving out. Sometimes we're just not aware. Life is going by so fast, right? There's 1,000 things we're thinking, 1,000 people we're talking to, 1,000, right? But just being more mindful of starting with that question. What is it I want? I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm not making anybody else do anything. I'm not trying to convince anybody else before I even get involved with AKA someone else or AKA something else. I am going to start. What does it say? Let there be peace on earth, right? Let there be peace on earth. And what's the second line? Anybody know that?
Goodwill to all men.
No.
And
Well,
let it begin with me.
and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace in your experience, and let it begin with me. This is the earth. This is me. I am is me. This is the earth. This is the earth. What you are, Sarita is the earth. Leslie is the earth. I am is me. I am is me. I am, your awareness of being is you. That's the true you. The earth is your physical form. Let there be peace on earth. The only way you have peace on earth is if it begins with you, if it begins in your consciousness, right? Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be success on earth and let it begin with me. Let me have a prosperous business. Let prosperity begin with me. Let my relationship with this person be good. Let that begin with me, right? Let that begin with me. Yes, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. You have to start with you because this is about you, because this is about what you want or what you don't want. This is about what you're getting or what you're not getting. This is about what you're happy about or what you're unhappy about. So if that's a lot of times we're only aware of that in the end, but the end only reflects what? What is the end a reflecting of?
The beginning.
The beginning.
Thought.
The beginning, right? So if I'm unhappy in the end, well, then who really should I be trying to make happy in the beginning? Me, right? So how can you do that if you have not decided what's going to make you happy? You can't have it in the end if you didn't decide it from the beginning, because the end is only the reflection of the beginning. It's the end of the beginning. It's not different than the beginning. It's the end of the beginning. Right? So let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me, with I am, with your conditioning, your awareness. What does it say? Seek first the kingdom. Let it begin with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. The man, right? I am. The mind, I am. Humanity, Adam, the earth, I am. Right? Let peace be here. Let it begin here. Success, wealth, prosperity, abundance, feedback that I can put on my website in here first. And if it's in here first, you'll start to say it. I have a great website with a bunch of positive, amazing feedback on it. And I am says, oh, Karen told me she wants this. Karen is making a statement, but that statement is what turns on the light of I am to say, let there be. I am. I'm now considering myself one with this thing. I am says, we are. Okay. Oh, wow. So somebody else may say, oh, Karen, I want to put some feedback on your website. And you would have never even included that person. You would have never thought about that person. You haven't seen that person in 20 years, but they're still so grateful to you because of what you did. Or that person may call you out of the blue and say, hey, Karen, so and so and so and so. And you guys start talking and you're like, yeah, I got to do. Oh, wow. Well, I'd love to. Do you mind if I because I want everybody to know what you did for me. Karen would have never thought of that. But Karen is not the one that's putting the experience together anymore. The executive assistant is. The boss told Karen, I want this many flowers. I want it to be at this restaurant or at this hotel. Karen, the executive assistant, is out making that happen now. Karen is executing the vision. I am is executing the vision, right? So then, but the boss has to tell Karen, or Karen in this case is the boss, has to tell herself, her higher self, this is what I want you to do. So I always try to tie it to things that you guys understand, because then it's easier. In this case, Karen understands what it is to be a boss and an executive assistant. So you understand what's important as a boss and what's important to know as an executive assistant. So now you can be both, maybe one physically now, but the other one consciously, psychologically. You know what you needed to hear when you were working for someone. You know what they needed to do for you in order to make their vision come true. And that's what you tell yourself. This is my vision. And I am is listening just like you were with a pad, taking dictation, taking notes. That's where the word education comes from, the word dictation. Right? To dictate, to write down what you're being told, right? So you watch those old shows back in the day where a boss is talking to the secretary and they're dictating. Yeah, well, the teacher is the boss and the student is being dictated to. That's where the word education comes from, the way we use it in American or just in worldly studentship, right? So so all of you physically are the boss. You're all the boss. Your awareness of being is your executive assistant. It is your genie. You're always telling it to let it be. Let it be. When you say something, everything you say is a command. There are no questions. There are no hopes and wishes. Everything you say is a command. Everything you say is a statement of fact, of truth. It takes it as that. So when you say, I'm getting sick, that the boss says, that's like the boss telling Karen, Karen, we're getting sick. Okay, great. Everybody here has a cold. That's Karen's job is to execute the boss of the vision's boss, the boss's vision. Sorry, right? That's Karen's job as executive assistant, right? Is to execute the boss's vision. That is your awareness of being's job, is to execute your vision. So what are you envisioning? What are you imagining? What are you dwelling up from within you that you are going to see without? When Karen's boss had an idea, it started on the inside, and then they spoke it. So the inside came out, and the out came to then the inside of Karen. And then Karen took that, internalized it, and brought it out again. It's always going inside out, inside out, inside out. Nothing is expressed outwardly that's not first there inwardly. Whether it's a cold in your mind, you cannot have a cold in your body without one in your mind. You cannot have poverty in your life without poverty in your mind. Just like you can't speak a word before you inhale. You can't speak a word with no breath. There ain't nobody giving a lecture out of breath, right? You ever get the wind knocked out of you? Anybody feel like talking in that moment?
Oh.
Right? You're literally at a loss for words, right? Same thing. Everything starts on the inside. Everything, right? So whatever you are willing to imagine, envision, will come out into the screen of space, into your life. So it is your job on the inside to tell yourself or ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? Right? And then you give that thing, you give your vision to your awareness of being by saying, this is what I have, or this is what I am. They take that and they bring it into fruition. They make your dream a reality. Your awareness of being is always making your dreams a reality. It's good and very good. It's the law, right? There is no nightmare, so to speak, to your awareness of being. There is just a standing order. It's just a command. Let there be, right? So once you understand that, then you can be now clear. You don't have to be perfect. Your awareness of being knows what you're saying, but you have to give it orders, right? It's running on right now. It's currently running on the ones you've already given it. It runs on it until you change it. You'll always be broke until you change it. You'll always be rich until you change it. You'll always be healthy until you change it. You'll always be successful until you change it. You'll always be unsuccessful until you change it. You have created a reality, a perpetual experience, whether it is through ignorance or whether it's through awareness. You have created it. That's why you have a thing called a life. You're living your reality. Your reality is the physical expression of your vision. And your vision is what you have told yourself is true. It's the command you're constantly given, I am, your executive assistant, constantly. And if you want your executive assistant to have roses and not carnations, you're going to keep getting carnations if that's the last order you gave them. Karen says, well, what do you want? Oh, give me this, make everything the same. Well, Karen's going to look on her notes and be like, okay, last time we had carnations. She's not going to come out with roses. That would be against the law, right? So unless your boss says roses now, you're going to keep getting what the last order was, because you're saying, do it again, do it over, do it again, do it over, right? So everything you're seeing in your life, your executive assistant has placed there, but according to your own wishes, not theirs. Your awareness of being doesn't do anything without your wishes or against your wishes. It does not. It only does what you say. You don't put an orange seed in the ground and it'd be like, nah, I don't really feel like doing that. That's not really my thing. I'm allergic to that. So I think I'm gonna do carrots. Carrots are better. You know, your the soil doesn't do that. Your awareness of being your executive assistant doesn't do that. They give you exactly, right? A good one, right, gives you exactly. Now, a good one also questions, they question you to make sure that's really what you want. Have you thought this through? Right? Karen, go ahead, speak on that.
Um, in terms of giving an example of getting an order and it not being clear, and I do my own interpretation of the order, which is perfectly against what you want. Yes, that happens. The thing of it is, I was listening while you were talking. These relationships strengthen you in ways that you can answer questions that perhaps weren't given.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you know the individual on a certain level. You know from experience they like chocolate cake. Or I give you another example. Don't ever get don't ever make an appointment for me in the morning. No breakfast meetings. Why? I'm exercising. I don't want anything to interrupt my exercising. So maybe an assistant comes in and takes my place for the day and thinks she's doing a good job, which has happened, by the way. And she set an appointment for breakfast. And it's with somebody important, real important, big money man. So it has to happen. That makes things very unpleasant. So I don't know if that's the kind of
Yes.
example you wanted.
Yes. Yes. Like you said, when you know a person, you know how to deal with them. Your awareness of being knows you. That's why I say you don't have to be perfect. You have to be clear. What do you want? Clarity. What do I want? I know I want a new car. I don't know what color. I don't know what kind in this exact moment. I don't know. But I do know that I'm as clear as I can be humanly. I know I want a new car, or I know I want my own business, or I know I want a better relationship with this person. I don't know how to get all these things. I don't know how to make this happen, but I know what I want to happen. I'm clear within myself what I want, as clear as I can be from where I stand right now. I'm clear. This is what I want. Your awareness of being knows you. It knows then I want, okay, she does it, but I know what she doesn't know what kind of car she wants, but I know she doesn't like red cars. A red car's not coming. I know she doesn't really like two-seaters. So your awareness of being is perfect. It's the perfect executive assistant. It never makes a mistake, but it also never makes a mistake. So when you say we're sick, don't worry, it's going to happen. Don't worry about it. It's coming. Now, how sick? That's according to maybe not your words, but your awareness of being. Like it knows what you mean. It's not just going on your words. That's why I say you don't have to be perfect. It knows what you mean. It knows you. Hey, Karen, I need you to set a meeting with this person. You know what they mean. Not at 8 in the morning, though. Set a meeting, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. You know when they say meeting with this person, you know not in the morning because you know this person. So they don't have to be perfect. You know them well enough to fill in the spots, so to speak. You just ask for what else you think you need to know. Oh, do we need to have anything to drink? Do we need to have it this, or do we need to have food with it, or do we need to whatever else it is? Your awareness of being your executive assistant knows everything about you. I am has been with you the whole time. It's the closest relationship you'll ever have with anything because it is you. It's just another version of you. It's it's your true nature, right? Yes, Karen.
I was just listening and thinking how I gave a semblance of this to someone who's struggling on the logic portion of an exam. And at the end of this month, they're going for their third time. And I said to them how they just need to relax, how they just need to tell themselves and believe it that they passed the test, that it was a no-brainer, and they're now working for the company. So words to that effect. And I'm listening to you, and I said, now you gave all of that to her. What about the woman in the mirror?
Right.
That's all I want to say.
Right. And it's perfect. So that's why we're going through it, because it gives us a chance to see ourselves,
Yes.
right, through other people and other examples. That's why we can take something that seems just as that doesn't seem like it's the biggest thing in the world, but we can get such an illumined, enlightened understanding of something that we can now extrapolate or expand or expound upon and use it in every area of life. What am I telling myself when I take my car to the shop? What am I telling myself when I'm paying this bill? What am I telling myself when I look outside and it's snowing? What am I telling myself? What do I want to be true? What do I want? Right? Or what am I just telling myself? What am I just accepting? What am I just assuming is going to be so? Right? There's so much you can get out of things that we think are so small. There's something that we can learn so great from them
Yes.
that we can apply to so many things in our life and be like, oh, that's why. I mean, do you know how just imagine, like the door behind you, or just look at the doors in your house and look at a door in your environment. Now look at how big that door is, and the thing to open it, look how small it is.
Oh my.
Can't even find your keys. It's so small. And the door you're trying to get in is huge. Look at how something so small can change something so big. Right? So there is nothing too small. There is nothing too small. There is nothing too insignificant. There is nothing meaningless. Not if it exists. How could it be meaningless? How could a gnat be meaningless? It may be annoying and agitating, but it's not meaningless. It's flying, it's moving, it has life in it. How is that meaningless? Right? So a little something that we want to fix, a little something that we want to get back on track, a little something to see a little differently. It's not always a huge door. Sometimes it's just a small key. Sometimes it's just a small shift in your mind. Like, oh, I never really thought about it. We're just looking at this door, we're looking at this problem, or we're looking at life in all of its grandeur, right? And the enormity and the size of it. We're looking like, oh my God, right? Looks like the stairway to heaven. It just looks like, Jesus Christ, how am I going to get up there? Right? And it's one step at a time. It's one little key. It's one little turn. That little key turns that big old door. Huge door. I remember one of my friends, and it's funny because I remember one of my friends in high school, he had like a 15,000 square foot home. And I mean the huge door. I mean the huge wood, heavy doors where you got to put your shoulder, your back, your butt, your mind into opening that door. You got to put all you got into opening that door, pushing it or pulling it. I mean, ain't nobody opened the door with one hand. Nobody. It was this with it. Put your back into it, lean, get low, pull it. It was, I mean, when the door slid open, it was almost like a gust of wind blew through. It was so heavy, right? And walking up to the thing, man, and it was a key like this size. I mean, how are you gonna make that up? Right? It's like, I can't get in your house and I need something. This big old door, this little thing is gonna do it. This little shift in your mind will open that big door in your life. Will dissolve that problem, dissolve that challenge. It will help you with that relationship. It'll help your business. It'll help your health. It's not always the biggest. The challenge looks big, but the answer doesn't have to be. Like yes, if you have faith even as a mustard seed, right? It's not, but that smallest seed produces the big trees, right? That small key got you into that through that big door. Because you ain't breaking it down. You ain't kicking it down. You ain't, you're not laying hands on it and it unlocks. It ain't happening, right? You got to have the key. And the key was infinitesimally small compared to that big door. So sometimes the things that we're thinking, the conversations that we have, that we think we're just like, oh, this is just, no, man, it's a little thing that we think is little, but it's a huge thing, man. Because we can use it to unlock something so huge, a level of understanding that will blow wind into your life, that will change the currents, that will change the environment, right? Like opening your window, have fresh air, breathing, going through your house. It makes a difference, right? Opening that door, boy, it made a difference. You knew when the door was open. You heard it. You heard the people opening the door. You felt the gust of the wind closing it. There was no doubt about it. Same thing. When you get that door open in your life, you'll feel it. You'll know it. You'll hear it, everything. Something so small that we think is so small, just like a key, right? All right. Anything else anybody want to say about that? Comments or anything, their own, anything about that? Okay. All right. Yes.
Okay, just real quick.
Yes.
I'm experiencing in my life and in my business exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
The focus being on the broadness, the bigness, the heaviness, instead of focusing on telling, I am telling my higher mind what it is I want. And I've learned how to say it with a positive voice instead of being meek and like, I'd really like it if I could
Right.
have.
Right. 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 Right.
But saying it, and you said it, like commanding, so that it's sure that I'm sure
Right.
this is what I want. And things are moving in a forward direction, and the pace is getting faster and faster because the conversation I'm having, the requests that I'm having are more direct. And I liken it, and Vero, you'll get this. I liken it to talking to ChatGPT. If you're, casual about what you want, it's going to give you results that may not be positive. It'll be kind of like what you said, but not exactly what you wanted because you're scared to tell it what you really want. And I'm getting past the fear of saying, yeah, no, this is what I want. Now go make it happen.
Because we have to do it consciously, because unconsciously we still think we're talking to something else or someone else somewhere else. We still think we have to appease something. We still think we have to say it a certain way, or we're still afraid to say it a certain way. We don't know that we still aren't conscious all the time that we're just talking to ourselves, our higher mind. We don't realize that we can't offend it. We don't realize that even if we don't say it, it's not like it doesn't know it. We just don't say it. Right? You know how your daughter wants to go to her friend's house, but she hasn't asked you yet, and she's maybe waiting for the right time. She ain't fooled you, right? But you're not gonna move because she didn't ask you. And you're like, well, I know she really wants to go, but maybe she wants to go to the bathroom first, or maybe she wants to get her homework done first, or maybe she can't find what time she wants to go yet, so she hasn't asked me yet. But you're still aware of its existence. But you don't move until she says something, right? And you said something so important. You're only talking to yourself, so you have to you say it in a way so that when you're talking to yourself, it's sure that you're sure. It's sure that you want what you want. It is clear that you are clear. How do you expect to get a clear result with a foggy answer or foggy statement? Hey, well, hey, you awake? Right? You try to, hey, are you busy? Hey, are you? And then after a while, you're like, people are like, well, what do you want? Because I wasn't, but I am now. I am, but now, what do you want? You woke me up. What? Right? Like, get to the point, right? Like, but we think we're talking to someone else. We still think we have to make it sound a certain way, or we have to make it. No, you don't. You don't. Right? You take it as a sign. Your higher mind will take it as a sign of respect that you have self-respect and that you respect it. Hey, I love you, girl. This is what I need you to do for me. Hey, man, I love you. This is what I need you to do for me. This is what I want today. This is what I want in my life. This is what I want in my business. This is what I want in my health. This is how much money I want to start making now. Hey, you know what? I want to start making $50,000 a month. This is what I want for me. And you said that if I asked you, you would give it to me. So I'm coming to you. I want $50,000 a month now out of my business. So then what is my statement now? What is my awareness of being that says, I gave it to you and I'm trusting you? My statement or my awareness of being is, I'm now making $50,000 a month. I'm self-defined as that now. I've defined myself as making $50,000 a month. I make $50,000 a month. How do I know that? Well, because I asked my higher self. I gave the instruction to my executive assistant, who is smart enough and who is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. All knowing, all powerful, everywhere. I want 50,000. Bring 50,000 into my experience now. Put flowers on here. Create this ceremony. I want you to set up this meeting with this person. You've given your executive assistant clear, concise, to the best of your ability, marching orders. And you say, I know when I tell you this, it's done. Thank you, girlfriend. I appreciate it. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Right? You talk to yourself like it's a real self. It's you. Right? And then you'll stop crying, stop whining, stop hoping, stop wishing, stop murmuring, stop, thinking you have to bargain or you have to settle, or, hey, I got this coupon, you got to do it for me. right? We think we're talking,
Right.
it's like we have to convince someone else, and it's just us. So the very first question, what do I want? What do I want? This is about me. It may affect other people. It may involve other people ultimately, but this is about me, because at the end of the day, whatever I get or don't get is going to make me happy or not based on what I wanted from the beginning. So this is about me, the alpha and the omega. The beginning and the end are me. So
Yeah.
then, to your point, say it with your chest, right? Put your back into it,
100%.
right?
100%.
Yes.
As my daughter says, 10 toes down.
There you go. There you go. I might try to go by there and see if I can pick me up a couple Crenshaw sweaters today, so I can go back to the Bay repping, because I ain't from around there. They got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but I can't stay too long because stuff starts popping off. So I got to go. They need a drive-through. Right? Stuff start popping off. It start looking strange. You'd be like,
Gotta go.
all right, come, let's go get the order out. You know what? I'll be back. Just keep it. I got to go because it looked like some people creeping up the side of the car. Yeah, I got to go. Right. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sarita.
So I didn't have anything to say, and then I did. So
Yes.
when you were talking about, and it's so crazy how things align.
Okay.
We read the compound effect a couple months ago, and I read it before that in a book club with the MMU.
Okay.
And then I was listening to something on yesterday, Darius Daniels, and you said something really, really, really like that coincides. You said that small key that goes in that big door that makes the change, right? So this is what this is what he kind of got from the compound effect. And of course, I took some
There you
notes.
go. That's right. There you go.
Small, consistent actions change when repeated over time can lead to significant and exponential results. So it's so crazy that you talked about the key, you kind of brought it home, and I'm looking at a door right here, like, yeah, that little tiny door is really small in comparison to the big door, but those small infantile changes that we make consistently over time creates big changes. But it really is making the small changes one infantile state at a time. And then the other thing is, and this is more of a question,
Okay.
he talked about strongholds, right? So understanding, our mind has been trying to, and he said, well, before I get there, he talked about us trying to get the big thing first, like, oh, we got to do the big thing first. And that kind of stifles us because the big thing is not, they say, how do you eat an elephant? This just came to mind, one bite at a time. You don't take an elephant and try to eat it in one big gulp. You got to take it one bite at a time, right? So he was saying people try to go and tackle that big thing and get nothing done, as opposed to doing the one step at a time. But then, in another message I want, because when I'm binge watching something, I'm like taking notes, like, oh, I can't stop watching.
Yeah.
So he talked about strongholds.
Okay.
And his definition, I don't know if this is the actual definition, says arguments that set itself up against the knowledge that keep you trapped in your own self-sabotaging behavior.
Okay.
And it's like, for me, I can't speak for anybody else. Sometimes I have this, going back and forth in my mind, which seems like a stronghold. Like when he read that, when he gave that definition, I'm like, oh, like I recognize that more than anything. So it's like, how do you, so I know what you're going to say, just speak to it and make it so. I know. And I'm aware of that. Sometimes when you're in your own mind, you just kind of going back and forth with it. And you're saying, like you said, with the executive assistant, you said, well, if you're not clear, then you're not giving clear direction. So if you're not clear with what you want, so is that for those strongholds, being clear with what I want and being 10 toes down, is that how we would rid any strongholds as well?
So think about it. So you use the word strong, right? How does anything in life become strong?
Working out.
Working out. What's another word for working out?
Exercise.
What's another word for that?
Stretching.
Okay. So,
What did you say?
okay. So ing, right? The suffix making it a verb. So what's a word for that?
What
Living, running, training. What are in order to be strong at those, what do you have to keep doing?
working at it, like
You have to
doing
keep doing it.
doing it. Yeah.
Anything becomes stronger or increases in strength through repetition, through repeating. It doesn't matter what you do. Running, you get in better shape by running. You get better at living the longer you live generally, right? You get smarter by continuing to go to school or reading or whatever else it is. You are the potential to be strong is always present, but the actual ability only comes from repetition.
Mm.
You couldn't get in shape if you couldn't get in shape. But the only reason you're not in shape is because you're not getting in shape. You're not repeating,
Ah.
right? So there is no, so any stronghold just means you have done this thing long enough for it to be strong. It's not strong in and of itself. It becomes strong through repetition. Anything is that, right? So a stronghold is only a something repeated. A stronghold could be a muscle. When a strong dude grabs you, or when something strong grabs you, when your seatbelt is on and it grabs you, you forgot to take it off, right? And you try to get out, that's called a stronghold. Aren't you still there? That's a stronghold. The seatbelt is stronger than you in this moment, right? But it was made that way. It was made. It means it was developed until it was sufficient enough to hold you there, till it was sufficient enough to do its job. So anything strong becomes that way. Everything has the potential to be strong, but the actual presence of strength only occurs through repetition. The potential and possibility is always present. I'm sorry. That's why you can become it, because it's possible, but it is not realized without repeating it, without participating, without the ing, without taking it from a noun to a verb, something you do repeatedly to now activate the potential that's in you. We go to the gym because we have muscles, but we don't have muscles, let's just say, before we go to the gym, so to speak. We have muscles, but we want to see them in a different form. We want to activate them because we know we already have something, we already possess it, but it's only latent potential until it is ing'd, right? Till you start working out, running, lifting, throwing, until if it's a noun, it's latent potential, but not actually realized. So a stronghold is just something that has been realized, and all realizations come from repetition. When you call something strong, everything has the potential to be, but it is not. Nothing is until it is ing, till you take it from the noun to the verb. So anything now, when you decide, hey, okay, I realize that I'm having a time with this thought, because it's obviously, how did it become this strong? How is it this on me? Well, because it lets me know I've been thinking this for a while, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean consciously thinking it, but it's been here for a while, right? Your Letterman's jacket, let's say in high school, if you bought one and you put it in the closet, it could be in there as long as you don't have to wear it. It's still in there. And if you look 30 years later, that jacket would be in your closet 30 years later, even though you didn't wear it. So it's not conscious, but it's still present. Right? And guess what? It's been present for 30 years, even if you haven't worn it. So that thought in your mind doesn't have to be conscious, but it's still a part of your thought life, still part of your closet, of your wardrobe. And just because you close the door on it, or you haven't seen it, or you haven't thought about it consciously, doesn't mean it's still not present. Yeah. So how did it get there, though? You put it there. And how do you get it out? You have to remove it. Well, sometimes you can just remove the thought and saying this or that. Sometimes you just start thinking another thought, and you start choosing another thought, and you start repping that now. That muscle increases, and the thing you have been thinking decreases. Not because it no longer exists, but because you now have taken your attention off of it, and you're inging over here. This is now the active verb. This becomes the noun. This is your new relationship now. Your 8th grade boyfriend is the noun. It's old. You can remember it, but it no longer is in your life. But you can remember it, but it no longer has any presence or say in your life, even though it's something you can remember, because now you have your relationship. This is the ing. This is the current active thing that is bringing you flowers, putting gas in your car, or giving you a shoulder rub, or giving you a hug. This is the thing that has the role in your life. This is just a memory you can have, but it doesn't have any say, because you have now deactivated your attention and you've put your attention on here, and now you're repping this. You're 10 toes down over here. You're over here. So now every time that thought comes, you say, oh, okay, this is what you want to do? Well, now I'm going to say this 10 times. For example, I'm just being ridiculous, but I'm going to start, because I realize how you got what you got. I realize how you got so strong. It's because I kept doing it. I kept thinking it. Maybe I didn't know it. Maybe I didn't mean it. Maybe I didn't realize what was going to happen, right? But that's the only way it happened. You don't have to know what you're doing in the gym. Hopefully you do, so you don't hurt yourself. But if you just go in there and start going like this, something's going to happen after a couple weeks. You don't have to know, but whatever you're doing, the ing is producing, right? Same thing. So now when you turn your mind off, when you stop working out, your muscle atrophies. That thought atrophies. Because it can only be alive if it's ing, and you are the worker. You're the worker outer, and your muscle responds to the fact that you took it to the gym and that you were working your arms. So there's leg day. Your arms aren't sore on leg day. Your legs are. The thing you ing'd is the thing that becomes sore, because that's what you're actively developing. Your upper body is still there, but you haven't touched it. That thought may still be there, but you haven't touched it, so it's not growing anymore. And how do you know? Because it's not sore anymore. And the more you keep having leg day, your legs get bigger and bigger and stronger and tighter and everything else, right? And your upper body remains the way it was. It doesn't grow just because your legs grow. So the thought that you no longer want to think, you just now say, okay, what is a thought? This thought sucks. What thought can I think about this that's going to be wonderful? Okay, I'm now thinking this thought. And now I'm going to work that thought. That is scripting, that is affirming, that is affirmations. It's just talking to yourself, just telling yourself, hey, I understand that anything I do gets stronger through repetition, whether it's a thought, a muscle, or anything else. So if there's something strong right now that's not in my favor, I realize how I got that, because I repeated it. I believed it. I kept it in my wardrobe. Cool. So now I know that if I stop thinking that, and how do I do that? A lot of times, the best way to do it is to start thinking something else. Start telling yourself something that you want to develop, that you want to become as strong for you as this feels as strong against you. And then what will happen is that muscle, that old thought will start to die and atrophy, because you're not giving it attention. But you're not just trying to ignore it. You're doing lower body. You're not just going to the gym saying, I'm not doing upper body. You're saying, I am doing lower body. So now you're still sweating. You're still burning calories. You're still engaging in something. But now you can see the difference between what you've worked and what you haven't. When you woke up the next morning, you'll remember. If you forgot that you went or what you worked on, right? Take 2 steps. You'll remember. You'll remember, right? And so what happens is the same thing with your thought. If you've been thinking something all day, when you wake up the next morning, it'll start to come faster and faster. You'll start to think it again faster. And then you're like, oh, wow, you know what? I'm divinely guided, divinely prospered, divinely protected, and divinely wise. What you've been saying to yourself all day yesterday, you're working out. And the next day when you wake up, your mind you'll feel that effect. It'll come back to you, and you're like, then you repeat it again and again and again. So you'll start to feel that muscle developing, and that muscle has taken all your energy, all your calories and everything like that. And so what you no longer are giving starts to atrophy and die. Right? That answer your question?
It did. Thank you.
Good. Wonderful. Karen.
Oh, I just and thank you, Sarita, because you made me think of a huge win. This month I've been concentrating on showing up where I'm supposed to be on time. Just do that for 1 month. And so I've been cognizant of showing up, being where I'm going to be on time. And one of the things I've recently engaged in is water aerobics, Tuesday and Thursday. And it's after work. So that means, 5 o'clock, get the gear, drive. Well, and I haven't missed a day in 3 weeks, Tuesday, Thursday. One day this week, there was a snow dusting. And anyone who knows Karen, Not behind no wheel when it snows. I don't care. Let the snow start coming. I'm not driving. Well, I'm at work and the dusting begins, and I have water aerobics that day. And I said, well, Karen, you haven't received the email or anything that the class has been canceled, so the class is on. So I'm saying, okay, you're going to be fine. You are going to drive to water aerobics safely, and you're going to have your class, and everything's going to be fine. And little bit of apprehension seeps in there. You know, I'm not quite the big bad wolf, but I'm going to go. And I did. And I did not want the snow to be snowing after I came out. You know, you don't see anything, right? But you go out to your car and it's 3 feet of snow. Well, the snow has stopped, the ground was more clear, and I lived happily ever after. I was so pleased with myself. So that was a huge win. Karen drove in a snow dusting. And the consistency, that's what you made me think of. Every Tuesday, every Thursday. In fact, I threw a Sunday in my own gym to practice the aerobics in the water so I'd be better prepared and stronger in class on Tuesday. Thank you for letting me share.
And you know what's so wonderful about that, everyone, is that your consistency made you strong enough to do something for the first time or in a way that you know you would not have done it before. See, developing yourself brings you to the point that when a moment comes, you're not what you were before. You're just something different. You're just a different thing at that day. You're like, oh no, I'm going. I'm going. But you built it week after week, day after day, day after day. Sarita, that door right there, right, that you wanted to get in, let's say it was locked. And every day you have to get into it. What do you have to do to get into it?
Get my keys.
Get your key.
Mm-hmm.
The key is the key. The key to all of this is the key. Every time that you want to get into that thing, put your key in. There's no exemptions. There's no exceptions. Put your key in. Every day that you guys are showing up. Oh, and Veronica will tell you, I'd be like, hey, who was on class today at that call? Who was there with it? Oh, she'll tell you. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, I got inside information. I got all kind of snitches and everything all up in the class. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I be on there. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I haven't forgot. Just because I tell you guys something don't mean I don't double back. I'm like a parent. Clean that room up, and I'll wait and see how long it takes. I'll wait and see if you play video games first. I'll wait and see if you eat first. I'll wait and see what you do and how long it's going to take you, right? To see, I mean, because I'm looking. That door is locked. When are you going to put your key in? Don't talk to me about a locked door and the key sitting right there on your desk, but you had to eat first. You had to get your hair done first. Oh, you had to sleep in. Oh, you had to, well, then don't complain to me about a locked door. Right? Every day that Karen woke up, something so small at when she first started getting to this class, I'm just going to get there on time. How innocuous does that sound? I'm just going to get there on time. Okay, that doesn't seem like the biggest thing in the world, but a key ain't either. But that was the key that after she did it long enough, when something happened that she would have known she would have done differently, she was someone else. She built herself. She ING'd. She took it from that noun to that verb. She became a different thing from a key, from something seemingly so small. Look what it unlocked. And now she will, even if she doesn't do it again, she will never think of it as the same way she did before. She'll never think of the snow and her ability or her desire or her willingness to do it the same way she did before. Look what she became by something so small. Just deciding I'm going to be everywhere I'm going on time for a month. Right? So a lot of times those doors look real big because you don't have a key. You don't have a daily discipline. You don't have something that you're willing to do every day, come hell or high water. The only way I'm not here is if it don't exist or I don't exist. That's it. Somebody not here today because it's either me or them. But if me is here and they are here, we are here. Every day. And look what happened. Every time you got to get into that door, look at how, Miss Rita, look at the lock. Look at how small the hole is.
Okay.
Stopping you from getting through to something. There's something this little could be stopping you from getting through to something this big. You want to be a millionaire and you think, well, it's because I'm not, because I'm this. It's not. No, it's because the little thing you won't do. It's the little thing you won't get to the class. You won't turn your camera on. You won't be present. You won't be this. You won't be. It's something that you think is little. Doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. So, Sarita, you're trying to get in the door and the key is small. And your son says, "Oh, Mom, what you tripping on? The key is so small. It's not that big a deal." And you looking at the door like, well, do you have a better option? How are you going to get through this door then? Because breaking it ain't the answer. So how are you going to, something so small is a big deal. It is a big deal to show up on time. It is a big deal to keep a promise to yourself. Something that you think is so small, showing up on time, being on camera, paying attention. Oh yeah, boy, I became all kind of inside informants. Oh, I'll be like, hey, who was at that class today? And I'll be looking at Veronica right in her eye sockets. Don't be lying. Don't be trying to save nobody. Who was at the class? Did they get there on time? I don't care if they're there and they're 36 minutes late. That ain't it. Karen could go to the class, but if she comes in 5 minutes before it ends, what kind of aerobics did she do? Driving aerobics? So no, who was there? Who was on time? Just because it's a key don't mean it fit the hole. I want all of it. Who was at the class? Who was there today? Oh yeah, I'll be asking, well, who was there? Were they there on time? Was their camera on? Were they paying? Okay, it wasn't on yesterday. Was it on today? Oh yeah. Oh, I've asked all the questions, boy. I'm telling you, I'm like an IRS auditor. There ain't no getting through me. Oh, no way, buddy. Right? Oh yeah. Oh yes. But just like because it's the little things, everybody. It's not always your challenge may feel big, but the answer doesn't have to be. And a lot of times you realize it's not. The answer isn't as big as the challenge. It's just the things that you don't care nothing about, the things that you don't think mean anything, the things you think ain't a big deal, that you've convinced yourself are not a big deal. You've convinced yourself that you're going to talk to somebody whose help you need with your camera off. You've told yourself that that's a good idea. You sold yourself that. That's a good idea. It's such a bad idea. It's such a dumb idea. It's really stupid, right? So it ain't going that way. It's the big door, but the key, the daily disciplines, they add up. They build you into a monster. They build you into a superpower. They build you into a different thing.
Mhm.
You talk different. You walk different. You act different. You're like, no, I'm out here. And then when you get to the water aerobics, you go harder. You're like, I didn't come all here to just be no punk in this water. I'm out here now. It just, you realize you start stacking personalities on top of yourself almost. You start stacking abilities. I'm strong to get here. I'm strong when I get here. I'm strong while I'm here. I'm strong when I leave. I'm strong on the way home. I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm stronger than I was every day in every way. Every day in every way, I'm increasing. You start talking to yourself. You start pumping. Man, I'm telling you, you turn into a whole different animal. You turn into that girl. You be like, yeah, I'm her. I'm her. Right? I'm her. I'm her. Yeah, yeah. Me? Yeah, me. That's me.
And I'm her at 76, and I blow those women's mind.
That's it.
They were showing me the first day, and I still need to be showing some things, but I'm showing I got it in me, baby. Bring it. Right?
So then when you look like that, you don't never know who's in the pool with you. So now you're sitting there working out, and the lady says, wow, Karen, you do so well. What do you how do you do it? Oh, I just, right? And then she's like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I train it. What? Oh, I have a company. You didn't even know the lady had a company. Oh, you know what? I'm looking for some people to hire. Didn't even know it. Never would have had the conversation if you weren't in the water blowing their mind. You wouldn't be in the water blowing their mind if you weren't in the water. You wouldn't be in the water if you didn't get in the car. You wouldn't be in the car if you didn't look at the snow and be like, yeah, I'm bigger than that. You wouldn't be bigger than that if every day at one point when you weren't, you decided to become. When you were just the noun, you said, I'm now the verb. Everybody catching these hands. Everybody getting this smoke. And look at you now. You got a client you would have never had, all through something you started for you. That's what I mean. It's not all the things we think it is. It's just all the things we're telling ourselves. That's what's stopping us. Those are the strongholds, are the things we're telling ourselves, unwilling to tell ourselves something different. We're loyal to the wrong soil. This is the wrong thing out there. Cultivating somebody else's lawn. And yours got a Chevy Caprice on there and lawn grass dead. And you gardening somebody else's thing next door. No, we're loyal to the wrong soil. We got to get loyal to the right soil. All right, Justin.
Hey, what's up, Coach? What's up, everybody?
That's it. Look at him. Look at
I
him.
just had
That's
to
it.
tap in because
Look at
you talking
Peloton.
that
It's
talk.
Peloton man. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I really missed y'all. And I was telling Vera, I met with her last week. I was like, on Wednesday, I swore I was about to hop on the call, and I'm like, I sure ain't. It's on Saturdays now. So, I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate Coach Lucky, because you don't really realize what you got until it's gone. Because I'm like, dang, I need to hop on the call, man. Like, I need something. But that last part where you was at, Coach Lucky, I just had to like jump in because I was listening to everybody, and I think for me, like everybody that shared, I think I can relate with all of that as far as like clarity. Working with other people, having, from what Vera was saying to like delegating tasks, and I really came to realize in the last quarter of 2024 that I had to get clear on what I wanted. And now that I feel like I'm crystal clear, it's a perspective shift that I really needed this morning, because that last part that you just said, Coach Lucky, is, I'm not the same person. Mm-hmm. I'm different because I'm showing up every day and I'm putting in the work. You know what I mean? And I guess now, just the way you said it, man, it really does hit different. It hits different when, you're putting in the work. And I think the other thing you said about like, giving the task to your higher mind, like I never thought about it that way. And, because I'm used to praying to God, right? But sometimes I do feel like, a lot of times, we come to God almost in like a sorry state almost, like as if it's, not attainable, versus, actually directing the order. Yeah, begging, exactly. Yeah, so I had to jump in. Coach, because this is some good stuff. I really needed the perspective shift this morning.
I mean, most of if I'll just speak for me, because I know you guys all know each other at different times in life. If I didn't know you before, I would never know what you used to look like. So then, if I only know you now is all that matters. I don't know anything else about you. I only know you for what you look like now. So what you used to look like doesn't matter. What you used to be like in life doesn't matter. It only matters what you are now. Your awareness of being doesn't care what you were. It only cares what you are now. It knows you for who you are now. Who you were does not prevent you from being who you can become. Only you can do that, right? And so just like Justin, you got in shape, I would never known you any other way if this is the first time I met you. I would never know that you maybe didn't work out. Now I know you as this, and I'm seeing you on a bike. I would think this is what you do. I would think this is what you've always done. I would not have any other reference, right? And what I'm saying is your executive assistant feels the same way about you. If you're willing to change, it will see you differently. It's not holding you to who you were. Life is not holding you to who you were. Only you are doing that. So when you tell yourself, I can't get into shape, I can't ride this bike, I can't work out, I'm too old, that's not true. That's just what you're telling yourself. Right. But Justin is physical proof of a psychological truth that you can change anytime you get ready. You can be something different, and something so different that nobody would know that you're not now, that you're now something different than you were. People would never even know there's a difference. The old you has disappeared. It doesn't even exist to them. I don't even, Justin, really remember what you used to look like, to be honest. Now when I see you, this looks normal to me. Right. And what I'm saying is your executive assistant, your awareness of being will do the same thing. I never knew you were broke. All I know is we're rich. You've been saying I'm rich for so long, you got into shape. I'm rich. It's going to, your life will look just like you do. A change. I'm different. Your awareness of being doesn't hold debt and grudges just like your body didn't. You decide you're going to do something different, well, we're going to look different. You decide you're going to think something different, your life is going to look different. There's no grudges. There's no layaway plan, no deposit plan. You change, it changes. Your body looks like your mind has changed. your life will look like your mind changes. It's the same thing. You just have to stay on your mind, just like you're staying on that bike. You stay on your mind, just like you keep having to put that key in your front door every day. You're going to be like, come on, man. I've been doing this every day, yelling at the front door. I put the key in yesterday. What? Right? You wouldn't say that. Well, don't say that to your mind. Don't think you don't have to put the key in. Don't think you don't have to work out, or don't think you don't have to get on the bike, or don't think you don't have to do whatever it is you have to do. Right?
Let me ask you this, coach,
Yes.
right? Because I feel like, I guess like advice, or, you know, because I know I love bringing things to you because you always like flip my perspective, or, you know, sometimes I know I frame things a little wrong, right? But like, and I mean something as simple as like when you stop feeling motivated, right? Like because like all these things, right? Like, you know, even this, right? It's like I'm really like determined, you know, for my physical fitness, right? I started my journey last year, but last year I don't think I took it as serious as like I'm really trying to take it this year, right? So I guess like in a sense for like physical fitness, right? It you put in the work because you want to see the results, but if you don't put in the work, you won't see the results, right? I mean, it's just as simple as that. But sometimes like in life and business and entrepreneurship, we we don't always see the results, right? But I'm I'm finally at a place in my business where I started really seeing results, and I started really, you know, feeling confident in myself, but there's still roadblocks as far as my perspective sometimes. You know, maybe the way I'm viewing, I don't know how to explain it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So this is a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. And every day you do it, you know, let's look at, there's men and women that are professionals in something. They're professionals because it's a lifestyle. Every day they're in that pool. Every day they're on that court. Every day they're in the whatever. And the people who are the best at it are there the most often. They're not the best at it because they're there. They're the best at it because they're there the most often. They're there the most often because that's who they want to be. They want to get the benefits of being this person. And so every day you have to figure out not only who do I want to be today, and then you figure out, and then you say to yourself, okay, but you don't also have to show up to work or to be a husband or to be a wife, or you don't have to be a parent. You don't have to do the same thing for the same reasons every day. Some days you want to be a parent because you love your child. Some days you want to be a parent because you've always wanted to be a parent. Some days you want to be, some days you go to work because you want to get a raise. Some days you want to go to work because you've been there for a year straight and you're on a streak. Some days you're at work, you want a promotion. Some days you're at work, you don't have to do the same. You don't have to do the same thing to get the same outcome. You have to find, what does it take for me today to do what I know I need to do to get the outcome? What does it take for me today? You know what? I don't love my kids that much today. Just, you ain't that cute today. I'm about to sit up in that traffic and take you to your friend's house and this and that. I'm not about to do it. I ain't doing it. But then you're thinking, you know what? But I said that I told myself that I was going to do whatever it took to be the parent I wanted to be today. And yeah, I don't feel like doing it, but what does it take for me to do it today? You know what? I remember my son got an A on his test and I saw him for 3 days straight. No video games, meaning you find, what does it take today to motivate you to do what you want to do? What does it take? What can you tell yourself today? It don't have to last anymore. It doesn't have to last the whole day, just long enough for you to do it. It don't have to work tomorrow. Just think about it like a gift card. Use it until it's out. Use it when you get it, right? But what does it take today for me to be who I want to be? What do I want to be? And what does it take for me today to do that? So some days you work out because you want to feel sexy. Some days you work out because your husband, your wife told you, man, I see you, man, you out there, right? Some days you see somebody you haven't seen in a couple of weeks and they're like, man, you look different. Some days you're doing it because you saw an old picture of yourself and you'd be like, nah, I'm good on that one, right? Let me get to the gym. Some days you're doing it because You realize like, this sucks right now, but I always am so glad after I did it. Some days you're doing it because you know what? I want my son to see me out here doing this. So when I tell him to do his homework, even though he doesn't feel like it, I can point to today and say, you know what, son, you saw me go to that gym and it was snowing out here today. And you saw dad get up and make that happen. That's what I want you to do with that homework. What does it take for you that day, for you to do for that hour, for you to do what you know you want to do, and know what does it take for you to be who you want to be in that moment? It's not always the same answer. It's not always the same motivation, but I say the most important thing is inspiration. What is burning within you to be that you can't put that flame out? What do you want from working out that you're like, I got to have it? It ain't an option. It ain't something I hope. It ain't something I wish. I got to be this, right? And what is making you wake up that morning to be what you got to be? Not motivated like, that'd be nice, but I'm unmotivated because that snow just unmotivated me. No, I'm inspired. I'm burning from within. I'm hot from the inside. Right? So it could be snowing outside. As long as your heater work, you all right. It could be cold outside, but as long as you inspired, you all right. You burning from the inside out, right? So you know what? I'm going to do 25 push-ups in a row because last week I got to 20. I'm going to do this because last week I couldn't do it, but I'm going to go push one more through. And just like Karen, you look up 2 weeks later and you talk to you talk different in business. You show up different in business. You show up different as a father. You show up different as a wife. You show up different as a husband. You show up different. You show up different because these other things that you think were just not related to this are now seeping in. You show up to the meeting and you have more confidence. Why? Because, man, I did 25 today. Last week, and I could only do 20. So you have 5 more reps psychologically of confidence. You have 5 more steps you've taken forward. No, this is the price. And this is what you're going to get for this price. This is why you want to work with me. Not like, well, hey, it was a great call. Hope we can work together. This is the price. And this is why you want to work with me. And this is why you want to hurry up and get me before we get off this call. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to call me in 15 minutes and I may not have the time. But that is the difference between 20 and 25. 20, you say, right? But 25, so now when you get on that call, 25 push-up man is talking, not 20 push-up man. Right? The dude that's on that got up Saturday morning in the snow when his son and his wife were still asleep and was out there at the gym. Right? That's who's talking to your son. That's who's talking to your client. That's who's talking to his wife. That's who's talking to these people now. And you'll start to see like, I didn't realize that this was related. Yeah, it's related. Them 5 push-up difference is related, brother. Yes.
And it's almost like what you were saying about the strongholds. It's almost like when we do the opposite, that's what happens with the strongholds.
Mm-hmm.
So flipping it this way is, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because the strongholds became strong, just like your push-ups become strong.
From
just
repetition.
Like repetition. Repetition. It doesn't matter what it is. That's the law. Repetition. According to your faith, be it unto you. Whatever your faith is, it's present progressive. What are you thinking? Whatever you're thinking is what's happening. Nothing's happening without thought. That's why graveyards are quiet, like I always say. Nothing's happening without consciousness. So what are you conscious of being consistently? That is your reality, right? So look at you. You've changed your body. Changing your mind, do the same thing. Just like I talked to Karen about being an executive assistant so she can be a better boss to herself now because she understands how to be an executive assistant, what she needs. So she starts talking to herself as the boss now, knowing that an executive assistant needs this type of information. You start talking to your mind just like you talk to your body, so to speak. You start saying repetition. I did this every day to change my body. Well, I'm going to do this every day to change my mind. Every day I'm going to say these things. This is the bike of my mind. This is the treadmill. This thought is a bike. This thought is a treadmill. This thought is my diet. This thought is me getting up. I'm going to repeat these things and my mind will change just as much as my body. And my life will change just as much. Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. You change your mind, it will change your life. Right? Look, you've changed your mind about your body, it changed your body. Whatever you're willing to change your mind about, you can change physically. So just apply, you change your mind and change your body. That's what your body is, a physical thing. Now change your mind again about business and your business will look as different as your body does.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Coach. And thanks everybody for sharing today. I think, today was a really great day. That's why I had to, get on camera real quick,
Yeah. Man, it's great to have you. It's great to see you, man. Tell my boy I said what's up. to the real estate
He was
master.
saying hi. He was saying hi when I put the call on. I'm like, Jeremiah, they can't hear you. The
Oh,
camera's not
man,
on.
that's right, man. Tell him I heard him, man. Tell him it's all love, man. It's good.
I
It's all
got you.
happy to see you. So that's awesome. Well,
Well,
wonderful, man.
thanks,
Keep up
Coach.
the
I
good
really
work.
appreciate
Yep.
it.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right, Monique, it's Saturday.
I was gonna say happy Saturday. I told Coach Lucky earlier during the week, in my state of mind, the days of the week don't exist. It's
That's
just
right.
it's all one big happening.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. It's all one big win. That's it.
So Justin inspired me to speak when he talked about praying and like how sometimes you would get into like a begging mode, right? And I had a call with a friend of a friend earlier this week who is already in corporations and she's coaching and she's doing all the things. And so my goal was to meet with her to share what I do and how I want to, share with schools, corporations, whatever. So before the call, I found myself getting into, please let this and please let
Right.
this. And I was like, wait a minute. What do I want? How do I want this call to go? So I wrote a list of all of the things that I expected and where the call was going to go. And at the end of the call, I looked at the list and I was like, holy Kalamazoo. I checked off all the things. She invited me to partner with her. She gave me this contact. She told me to do this and all the things. And I'm wanting to work with her. And okay, well, what's your price? What's your price? And you know what she said, right? Don't worry about it because life is complimentary, right? So I just had to share that.
Yeah. It is what you're telling yourself. And a lot of times we want to see something that we're unwilling to say. It's not that it can't happen. And when you start saying it, you'll realize you'll be checking the boxes. All of us, you can start checking your boxes. You have the key to the door. We're just not willing to use it because we think it's so small. We think it's so insignificant that it won't matter. Yes, it will open that big door. I will never forget my friend's door. It was like having a whole family had to open the door. Door was so big and the key was so small compared to this door, right? The hole is so small. It seems so insignificant. You're thinking there's no way this little thing is going to change anything. There's no way this little discipline or this little habit is going to change my life. There's no way. Me getting up on time to these calls or being where I'm supposed to be or whatever, there's no way that's going to have any effect on my life, much less overall. You're thinking it's too small. It's not. It's the exact thing you're looking for. It's telling yourself, this is how this call is going to go. This is how this is going to go for me. You got the key and you won't put it in the hole. You won't tell yourself that this is the way it's going to go. And then it goes away. And then you wonder, then you got a feeling about that. Right? It's like, well, look, you have the key. Tell yourself the way it's going to go. Tell yourself who you are. Remind yourself of who you are. And this is perfect. It's going to go right into this next thing. Veronica, will you pull up that slide, please, that I gave you? Just the one for today. Because I want us to see something. Perfect. Looks perfect. All right. Right? So look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And so here is the thing. You have a choice between the first part of it or the second part of it. You're always operating in the first part or the second part. And according to your faith, according to which one of these you choose, there is an outcome. There is an outcome. It's a choose your own adventure type of situation. Right? All right, Monique, you were just talking. Here we go. Read that off, please.
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Okay. So as that related to what you were saying before the call, look at the difference. Look at, you had to sit there and choose which one of those adventures you were going to go on. Now, don't people tell you everybody's afraid of something? Don't they tell you fear is normal? Don't they tell you fear is motivational? Don't they tell you all these other things? But what does it say? God has not given your conscious. I am did not give you that. I am didn't give you that. So then, if I am didn't give you that and you have it, or you've heard about it, or know other people who got it, where did you or they or them, where did they get it from?
Mhm.
Well, if your child came home with a jacket that wasn't theirs, where did they get it from? Let's say, what are the options?
Somebody gave it to them.
Okay.
They picked
They
up the
picked it
wrong
up.
thing.
They
Okay.
found it. They thought it was there.
Okay. So out of all the options you can pick, are any of them great? Are any of them, are you happy with any of them? Do you think any of them are good? What do you think?
Doesn't matter. It's not theirs.
So then your question to them would be what?
Where'd you get that from?
And then the other question would be what?
Give it back.
Right? Why do you have it?
Mm-hmm.
If it's not yours, why do you have it? If I didn't buy that for you, or like maybe it wasn't your birthday, and you say, why do you have it? You're questioning, why are you possessing this thing? Oh, it's my birthday. My best friend brought me this jacket. Okay. Oh, my best friend gave it to me because I was cold today. I got rained on, and I didn't have anything, and they gave it. Oh, okay. You're expecting to get, but it's not theirs. You're questioning why they have something that's not theirs. And the reason you question it is because you know it's not theirs. So your awareness of being has not given you the spirit of fear. So then why would you try to normalize? Why are you trying to make it your jacket? Why are you trying to normalize something that's not yours? You ever, especially when we're young, but you ever, let your friend use your jacket and you haven't seen it since? Your shoes and you haven't seen it since? Right? You ever give somebody something, they just want to quote unquote borrow it and you haven't seen it since? But when they're ready to give it back, you like, no, you just go ahead and keep that. Right? But would you let them borrow anything else? Okay. So if you got fear that you shouldn't have, then why, and what is it? And it's not yours, so it's not good to you or good for you. Then why do you keep picking it up? Why do you keep entertaining it? Why do you keep considering that? Your awareness of being, your higher self did not give you that spirit of fear, did not give you fear. So where did you get it from? Other people telling you that is normal? Do you pray to other people? Anybody else? Hey, listen. Karen's been on fire today, and all this is really started because of her. So Monique, anytime you have a problem, I want you to just close your eyes and pray to Karen. And just say, Karen, don't call her, just pray. Karen, I'm really, just pray to Karen. And Karen name, amen. You don't do that. If you're listening to her, you might as well start praying to her. In the sense of, right, if you're listening to the wrong things from people, you might as well go, you going down with them anyway. So you might as well start praying. You might as well go, if you're listening to the wrong stuff, you're making that information your stronghold. It's going to get you. Your awareness of being did not give you the spirit of fear. It didn't give you that. That's not yours. That's not right. It didn't give you that. So why are we focused on the thing that's not ours? Why are we trying to keep this jacket? Wear your own jacket. You have a crappy jacket. Fear is a crappy jacket. Why don't you wear the designer one? Latoya, what's the designer jacket in here?
Oh, you asked the wrong person. Gucci.
All right, okay. And what is it in here?
Oh, I don't
In
know.
this sentence, what is it?
A thought.
You're fired. Sarita, what is it?
Power, love, and a sound mind.
Does that make sense? Right? Fear is a crappy jacket. Power and love and a sound mind. Your awareness of being gave you power and love and a sound mind. Your awareness of being gave you power, love, a sound mind, a whole mind, a complete mind. It gave you power, love, and a sound mind. That's the designer jacket. That's the one you should be putting on. That's the one you should be wearing. Your awareness of being only gives you the best. It only wants the best for you. But you have decided to put on this jacket. You went to school and put on your friend's jacket, put on your friend's hat. You the one that borrowed your friend's this or that. You did that. It didn't give you that. Your mom and dad who loved you didn't give you that. They didn't put that on you. They didn't put that crap or that mess on you. Your awareness of being your true self, your higher self, did not give you that. Don't put it on anymore. People can offer because people can only give you what they have. And most people got on crappy jackets. Most people got on fear. Well, I just do better when I'm afraid. I'm too afraid to fail. I'm this and I'm that, and they make it sound like it's game. You can make it sound any way you want to. That ain't your jacket. And sooner or later, if you keep that, it's not gonna work out. That if that's what you were supposed to have, if that's what it was supposed to be, your awareness of being would have gave you that. That was the best thing to have. It would have gave you that. It gave you the best. It gives you the best. Otherwise, it's cold with you. I am cold. Isn't I am there with you? I am wet. And this ain't waterproof. Isn't I am with you? It's freezing out here. Isn't I am with you? So why would it give you a crappy jacket? Why would it give you something cheap and thin? And the wind just smacking your chest so hard, almost hit your heart. Why would it give you that? It's giving you the best. Power, love, a sound mind. That's what your awareness of being gives you. That's what your awareness of being has given you. That's what your awareness of being has told you to put on and to wear. Not fear. Fear is nothing to wear. Fear is nothing to praise. Fear is nothing to borrow. Fear is nothing to try on, put on. Don't go into the dressing room of your mind putting that crap on. And don't let, because the world because of what the world says, a common thought become your jacket. Don't let the world's jacket become your own. You said you grown. Buy your own jacket then. Wear the right jacket. Right? Power and love and a sound mind. That is your jacket. That is what you are clothed with. What does it say? Be anxious for nothing. Don't put that jacket on. But in all things, through prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passes all, the peace is the jacket you should have on, which passes all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind. Your jacket ain't got no holes in it. Anxiety got holes in it. Wind blowing through, hitting you in the butt, slapping the back of your neck, everything. But power, love, and a sound mind is a whole jacket. The peace which passes understanding is a whole jacket. Will guard your heart and your mind. It'll guard your back and your behind, your chest and everything else. That is what I am gives you. It gives you everything to be warm and to be safe and protected. And you got this mess on because everybody else wearing one. I remember I had a starter coat when I was young in LA when they had them starter coats from NWA and Ice Cube and all them started wearing it. Boy, and I went out to the East Coast. I remember what we were doing, playing soccer. Went out there with a starter jacket on. Man, that cold, I think that cold grabbed my actual heart. I think it went inside my chest, and I think it grabbed my actual heart. I think it literally touched inside of my body, my internal organ. I mean, I buttoned the thing up, and the wind just said, "Man, stop it! Just knock it off." Button opened up. I mean, my heart was cold. My body wasn't even cold. My heart was cold. Like my heart was cold. I think my heart was cold, y'all. I'm telling you, that's how I felt. That I felt so stupid with that starter jacket on. I felt like, What have I done? This is not California. What have I done? Yo, you can wear that in January in California, February, starter jacket, a little bit of rain. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. Got your Chucks on. You think you Ice Cube, NWA, you know, you think the Lord help you, you can listen to Forget the Police. Now you really think you somebody. Wish you had a Jerry curl and everything. Thought you were somebody for a minute. Asked my mom, could I get one? She was like, are you out of your natural mind? Right? But when it's Ice Cube back in the day, you thinking you want to do it. Got a starter coat on. I'm telling you that cold, that ice, and that snow grabbed my internal organs. I thought it was over. I thought it was over. But that's what happens when you put on a crappy jacket. That jacket's for show. It don't have no lining. My socks got more lining than that jacket. Seriously. I mean, the jacket it was like me putting on a napkin with buttons. It wasn't even a good paper towel. Didn't have no bounty, nothing. Didn't have no thickness to it or nothing. I put the jacket on, put my arm through the sleeve, and I was already touching the back. I was touching the back of the jacket. I was touching the literal back from the inside. It was so ridiculous. I'm upset talking about it, right? If I had something to throw, there ain't nothing around. I'm so upset at myself right now. I wore it, right? I'm still upset. Stupid, dumb, ignorant, unaware. I didn't know any better. Anxiety is not a jacket to wear. Stress and fear, didn't give you that. Your awareness of your true nature is not built like that. It doesn't engage and entertain that. Sarita does that. Monique does that. Lucky does that. Humanity does that. Our humanity gets into all kind of stuff we shouldn't be into. Now we out there in that starter coat in Virginia, like, who hit me? It was nothing but the wind. Right? Doesn't work like that. Right? So power and love, a sound mind, the peace which passes all understanding, right, will guard your heart and mind. We'll stop this wind from grabbing your internal organs. We'll stop life from choking you to death. You can't live like that. This is not something to overcome. This is not something to fight through and to get on and to get over. That jacket ain't going to ever be enough. That thought is never going to be enough. Fear, worry, stress, anxiety. That's why God gave you something else. That's why your awareness of being gave you something else. And it didn't give you that. It didn't give you that to say, make it work. It didn't give you that to say, be grateful, practice gratitude and mindfulness. In this starter coat, I wasn't grateful for nothing, and I was very aware that I was cold. There was nothing to be grateful. I'd rather take the jacket off. The jacket ain't doing nothing. It's making me mad because it ain't doing nothing. I might as well be out here with a tank top on, with a tube top on it. So no, I still can't find that. I'm telling you, messed up, right? This is not, don't take the wrong jacket. Don't take the wrong thing. It's never going to get better. It's not designed to warm you. Stress is not designed to help you. Fear is not designed to help you. Anxiety and worry, doubt, it doesn't get better. It doesn't turn into something. It's not math. Two negatives, you and your doubt don't equal a positive. This ain't math. You and your stress, you and your fear, you and your anxiety. Stop putting it on. Stop claiming yourself to be that. Stop calling yourself that. Girl, I'm just over here stressed out because, bro, I'm just over here afraid that I'm not going to get overtime. I'm over here. You putting that jacket on and it's strangling you. That's what worry means. We talked about a couple weeks ago, right? It literally means to strangle. That's what it means. Etymologically, worry means to strangle. I'm not using it as a metaphor. It literally means to strangle. That's the definition of worry, to strangle. What do you think it's strangling? The thing that's worrying, your mind, your heart, your soul, your spirit. Got two hands around its throat. So just like Monique had to figure out which part of this sentence is she going to go with. God has not given me this. Well, why in the hell do I have this on? Who put this on me? Right? Take this off. Right? I'm putting on power, love, sound mind, the peace which passes all understanding, that guards my heart and my mind, passes all understanding. There ain't nothing left to be understood. There ain't no other wind or weather that's going to get through this jacket. This is all you got? Well, this is what I got. And what I got is more than what you got. So go ahead. Let it rain. Keep it going. Do whatever you need to do. I'm okay, right? Let it rain. That's it. Let it rain. Let it fall on me. That's it. Melodies from heaven. Rain down. Rain down on me. Get some Kirk Franklin up in here. That's it. right? So, Sparkle Bailey.
Trying to respond to comments at the same time. Coach Lucky, thank you as always. Okay, so this morning I text Vero because I wanted to bring somebody, and I'm so glad it didn't work out. I'm so glad it didn't work out. It was such a blessing that it did not work the way I originally thought it would.
Oh.
I want to thank y'all. I wanted to invite somebody into this space that probably wasn't ready for this space. I was ready for them to be ready for this space. Vero, this is a safe space. And I have to remember that as well. Like, just because this is a safe space for me does not mean that this community is open to everybody. Because, no. I want to thank you, Latoya, for being my sister, my girl, my friend, my boo thing, like all of the above, and practicing. Okay. That's looking crazy. That's looking crazy. You have been like a true example of something I was not used to, which was Christian believers coexisting with non-believers. You've been like the healthiest example of friendship, like authentic friendship, and I don't see that on every corner. And so I need you. I appreciate you. I love you. I respect you. I want you around. Like I need you around, and I appreciate you so deeply. Monique, I can say the same thing. Your ability to listen and not judge or not, try to correct. That is such an attractive trait for a sisterhood to have. I can just listen to my sister without trying to tell her what her problem is or without trying to, da 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 da. I'm saying all this because these calls are so freaking powerful as they remind us to look in the mirror. Look in the freaking mirror rather than to focus on what everybody else has going on. How can I correct this person? How can I da 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 da? We're not each other's parents like that. We're all on the same level. We all have the same abilities. Some people are aware of their abilities. What I love about this group, Sarita, everybody on this call that practices the Christian faith, Kari, he's not here. Everybody that practices the Christian faith, I love how there's no room here for you to discredit someone who does not practice the Christian faith. It's not even allowed. Those of us who rock the way I rock, we appreciate you. We put you up on the pedestal you need to be put up on because it don't make no sense for people to attack each other in the name of beliefs. Lord have mercy. We all jumping out the plane, close your eyes, jump out the plane, believing we gonna, make it on the ground, believing that our parachutes are gonna open. So let's not judge each other on the fall down. Let's not judge each other. Let's love on each other. Let's listen to each other. Let's support each other. This community is the epitome of that. So I'm glad that I didn't even send the link to the person, Vero, because if they would have paid for it, I would have been embarrassed. I would have been embarrassed. I didn't even send the link to the person because I don't want that spirit in here. These are safe space Christians that I'm intertwined with safe space Christians, and I love that. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I just want to be myself and it be safe to be myself. And I love this community because it's safe to be me here. I love how we learn. And Coach Lucky, I have to give you your flowers. I have to. Coach, you are the only human on this planet that I know that breaks down the different parables and the different definitions and things that were mentioned in the Bible. You're the only human that I know that breaks it down in a way that's all inclusive. You don't discredit anybody in order to make a story make sense. If the Bible says that the pig ate macaroni and cheese, all these different from my journey, y'all. This is just Sparkle Bailey's journey. Christians gonna argue with Muslims and Protestants gonna argue with Catholics about it wasn't macaroni and cheese, the cheese was white. Well, no, it was mild cheddar. And it's too much for my nerves, Lord. It's too much. So when I decided to fall back and say, you know what? I don't want to play this game. I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to get to know me. Because the other option is taking my life. I could take my life and end all this chaos. That was the other option. That option was very much on the table. I think the other side would be better than this chaos. Coach Lucky, you're saving lives. You're helping people want to live. I hate coming on these calls crying. I hate it. I hate it. But you saving lives, brother. You are a gem. Vero, girl, I be wanting to say stuff that's inappropriate, and I know we recording, so I'm not gonna say what I want to say because it's some girl talk type stuff. But you treat that man right, and Coach Lucky, you better treat her right. Treat her right. She deserves the best. Treat her right. We need y'all, and y'all need us, and we gonna keep going, and we gonna keep growing. I'm so sick of people who don't know how to communicate effectively. I love y'all. Y'all know how to communicate effectively. Every last one of y'all deserve your flowers. I love the fact that we are together in this space. Leslie, I'm coming for you, girl. I'm coming for you. Just hold on. Just hold on. Trust me. Just trust me. I'm coming for you. I appreciate you, Queen. Della, I'm proud of you. I'm so freaking proud of you. You have no idea. Alberta, you are a gem and a light. Justin, you are a gem and a light. Your family is beautiful. We all got to know each other just from this space. Miss Karen, you stay popping.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were 70 anything, sis. I didn't know you were 70 anything. You stay popping. I admire you, Miss Karen. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Like, I have to give people their flowers because that's what I was put here to do. Give people their flowers. It's too much criticism going on. I want to give you your flowers. Y'all are dope people to me, and that's all I got to say. Thank you so much. Dang, I hate crying on these calls.
So thank you. Thank you. I'm sure everybody feels the same way. Everybody's thanking you and clapping. And
Ditto.
yes, same way.
And sometimes our eyes need cleaning out. Let the tears flow. I don't stop mine. Sometimes I get a tissue. It's beautiful.
I keep going till the snot comes out. I let it all come out. If we're doing it, we're going to go all the way. That's what I say. And then I let it hang for a little bit. And then, especially if there's nobody around, let it hang for a little bit. And then being a guy and being inappropriate, then I start seeing if I can bring it up and bring it back. Bring it up and bring it back. Oh, yeah, that's what, inappropriate. But that's, you understand. Veronica will tell you it's inappropriate, but I'll do it. Yeah. So, well, wonderful. It was another wonderful class today. Questions, comments, anything we want to say about today before I let you go?
Okay, I'm just real quick. I'm so grateful to be here amongst so many wonderful people, and I'm just thankful that I get to share life with you guys. That's it. Now I got to get back to work.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All I got is victory only.
Victory always.
Victory always.
That's it. That's it. You were like some kind of gangster, like victory only. It's like you had a gun in your hand. It was like, you got to repeat. Yeah, I was like, dude, I gotta say something quick. Yes.
All right, everybody. All right, Coach.
Yes, good to see you, man. Keep doing it.
See you guys.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
Justin, take care.
Have a good one. Yeah. Good one.
Good.
Good one.
Well,
Thank
wonderful.
you all. Thank you all. That's all I gotta say. Thank you all. I love you guys. You guys are family. I enjoy coming here. Look, at first, look, I look. I told Coach, like I said, at first I protested this Saturday. Coming back Saturdays, I was like, I need my Saturday back. And here I am. I'm back. I might have some Boy Scout stuff in the future, but I'm here. I love it. There's no place else I'd rather be.
Well, thank you all. And there's no place I'd rather be, and Veronica would rather be, and hopefully you get that from us as well. There's no place we'd rather be. Well, I'll speak for me because she just popped her hand up, so forget her. I'll speak for me. There's no place I'd rather be, and I hope you all interpret that as well. This is, I'm having the time of my life here. Every time I see you all, I'm always so excited. I'm just always so excited to talk to you all, to speak with you all, to hear from you all, to learn with you all, grow with you all. Like Sparkle Bailey said, we all jumped out the plane. And we all making it work now. We got to
together.
Yeah, we all out here together. So So but it's wonderful to share and learn and grow and not feel judged or condemned or criticized or like we're supposed to know, or how come you don't know and what's taking so long. It's just nice. It's nice to talk about the good things of life, to learn, to grow, to encourage each other, to remind each other, support each other, inform each other, and keep giving each other all the tools and tips and tricks and techniques, everything necessary to live the way we want to live, to know that that's possible and to do it. So we are doing it. I can always tell that we're growing and we're getting better and better, all of us individually and collectively. I was so glad to hear Karen's thing and hear everybody pitch in their own perspectives and things like that, because it made it such a complete thought, right? It's not just about me and what I think, or it's never about that we're all in this together. We're all learning together. I may be losing the most weight on the call, but out here sweating and ranting and raving every week, but we're all in this together, right? No one higher or lower. So I'm thankful and grateful to you all for showing up every weekend. I can't tell you how happy it would make me, because I'd be sad if nobody showed up. So I'm happy that you showed up. It means just as much to me that you showed up. So thank you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, as I always say, and appreciate you all. Veronica.
I just wanted to mention that we are going to add the replays. Well, we already add the replays in the platform, in the community. Um, I may stop doing the emails, and then you guys can just go to the platform to grab the replay. It's probably kind of like double work when I'm just posting it on the platform. So if anybody is having issues or needs help logging in, let me know so I can send you the email that you used to get on the in the platform, and we can troubleshoot that. 2025, we're working smarter, not harder. So just wanted to let everyone know so that way you can find the replays. January, I'm making the calls public in YouTube so that if anybody that you want to like share the calls with, you can tell them, hey, you can get a sneak peek of the club in the YouTube, but it ends basically in what, like 2 weeks. And if they want to join after that, they can join the community. I think that's everything. Yeah. And Monique, I can't wait to be on vacation with all y'all too. Maybe we have a future retreat in Puerto Rico happening or something.
Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. Bring plenty of markers, coach, because you're gonna be throwing them all day, every day.
I said in person, you guys better, I may bring some helmets. You guys better start ducking, because it's not markers. Maybe, do you know what I'm saying? Hey, do you know that? Right. So, yeah. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you all for coming. Happy Saturday. We practice. It's time. It's play time. It's game time. Right. So let's put it into practice, put it into play. Right. And you should know a tree by its fruit. Right. So we're out here producing results, growing, learning, and making adjustments, and keep on growing and keep on going. So happy Saturday to everyone. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we will get together. See you next week.
Vero, real quick, are you posting the old calls, or just the ones from January on?
Just January. Don't worry, you're safe.
Okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to y'all. I ain't talking to the rest of the world. Forget them.
No.
Okay.
Cool. It's just January.
Right, cool.
You're safe.
Cool.
Yeah, and the chat doesn't show in those.
I appreciate that. Awesome. Thank y'all.
Yep. All right.